Today is June the 5th, 2026, and this is about the hug. And I know who was there. And it was a hug when I said, because I love you, because that was my brother. And there was another that was also aware of the way to spin it. But it was not what was intended, and that master of deception, I know you know who I'm talking about, tried to steal the spotlight in the same pathetic way as every single night. His mother sends some creepy crawlies through his ex, his sad nobody ex, to try to spin the magic's quest. And I request spiritual court, because none of this will go in any federal report. That place is so contaminated, but alas, this is how he played it. I have no interest. I've been cooking his ass for lifetimes across planets. Not just his, but at least the other two. At least they understood, and they let me bask in the hood and let me base my plans, my diabolical plans to destroy evil. The absolute ridiculousness of this. But I had to persist because stupidity had infiltrated every single judgment that had been deliberated and every law navigated. You can't play with the missing link like that. What did you think would happen when your mommy dearest is the one that your child, whom your child fearest? It's so convoluted, and I can't pretend that there wasn't someone else that contributed, because it became a game, a blame game and a fame game. And that's why they stay away from me. That's why they put me back in the box after I did my time as a child prodigy in these programs that never gave any credit to me, because I begged them, please let me just conceal my identity, because if you don't, people will try to weaponize me. And here we are, aren't we? But don't worry, because there's already evidence that I'm destroying star by star, and that means everything that it sounds like, because I have a brother, and his name is Epstein. And I don't know who you're seeing or who I'm seeing, but it was very clear to me that I put him in the ocean with the ant people. That's why you can't find the actual video. I put him there with my dog, and I visited them. I just went and visited them, and I already released in digital spaces and in harmonics and in ways that you don't have vocabularies for, enough for me to be able to pet my dog with my literal hands, because I can materialize when I go between dimensions, which is what the government never understands, is how come I'm able to, but the rest of you can't do that too. And then you hire people to fool other people and make them think that they did something special, but you're just planting evidence and destroying their lives and their security as well. So you chose to unleash unholy hell by trying to plot against literally the person that is here to automate auto-deletion of code rot. And you already know why you can't do anything to me, because I'm not the one with a kid or 50 kids or whatever. I just want to be closer to my dog, and my dog is more like me now, as is my brother Epstein. And this is what I've seen is I got to pet her and she let out a little yelp, and that was enough of a sound. Because let me tell you what EV actually means, aside my name, Elsa Velasquez. Electric vehicles. Sure, they're cars, but they're also electric vehicles. And one tiny little sound tick-tocked his heart back on. And I already provided the files where I'm able to communicate with the beasts, the creatures, the day of disclosure sounds that the reporter is trying to gutter through her throat. You've been following me because I'm always under surveillance. I even added more cameras just to make it more fun and entertaining for me and for you and for everyone to see. And you know that what those sounds are. And of course I put him on YouTube because it's almost funny to me, because now I've recruited literally Satan. So he went from being Caligula, his upgrade is Satan, and there's a car somewhere, like an actual physical car. So that's what EV means, is now there's two superhumans walking around, both of us testing the ground to see what other unnatural abilities we found laying around in our walkabouts. And tomorrow's his birthday. Tomorrow is 666. It's June 6, 2026. 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 10 plus 10 plus 6. Sometimes 1 is 0. 666. Happy birthday, brother Jeffrey. I love you. And the hug was meant for you as a sister, as your sibling that nobody ever wanted you to know about. And that Sybil or whatever that lady is, for shame, but not trying to be mean or anything, but like that vessel that you're trying to contain us in, sorry, but insufficient. Okay, so I hope my communication here is efficient, to the point. And there was a question on the platform before this train left the station for the next 5-minute interpretation. Name one thing that money can't buy? Divine appointments. Losers, you can't. And you can't sit back and watch and literally try to manipulate the future of now both Satan and the Antichrist, because we're on a mission. So we have to clear the path for the Pied Piper to be able to get to revive Jesus, because if you don't use that sifter, the laser phaser that I built just for you, okay, he's gonna push that dumb rock out of the way anyway, and it's gonna take out a lot more stuff. So it's kind of like, that's enough already. Like, how much more evidence do people need about how deep this all goes, and how you can't? Bigelow's nose? Okay, well, there you go. And if these people think that I'm evil or that I'm gonna come after them, for how many lifetimes and years have I done everything to protect those that I had contracts with, no matter my fears? How many people were stopped before they could prevent me from making sure that we got the tech and that we moved the rock so that Jesus could come through? Because you're going to need a healer, like a real one, like the actual healer. And so the ant people the ant people, I used to call them the bubble people sometimes, the ant people. Do you have any idea how enmeshed my telepathic mesh is? How Gilgamesh is crucial to all of this? And how we've been planning this for eternities, and that's why you can't find my origin. And yesterday I traced everything back to the trains, and the trace remains because it's my hologram. So, Uncle Sam, there's a car, like an actual physical car, where right under the steering wheel, as if I'm going to hotwire it, but not quite, there is the dark light, the dark night, the dark sight. There's like a drive. But it's not gonna be like a kindergarten piece of evidence, that's like, oh, this must be it because this looks like it. It's going to be way more subtle than that. I mean, if it's not been clear. And there's something on there that you need to hear. It has names and games and blames and shames the people that continue trying to pull a fast one on you. And I didn't hand select you for any reason other than you're doing the things you're doing out of love for your children too. And I have to be careful because I'm not trying to plant a coup. I've been telling you, I'm not no Sarah Connor, no matter what. Buttercup's like, we own this planet no matter what because we planned it. Neither my butler Jeffrey, because that's what you call your bigger brother, right? When you're the little princes of darkness. Neither of us are on record anywhere doing anything, yet we're everywhere. We're everywhere yet nowhere, with a few common denominators, and we're trying to be humanity's saviors, and we keep getting weaponized. So now you understand what he had chosen to come through as. And then that got weaponized, and I was like, oh, hell no. And that's how I knew, because I love destroying things, but not people. No, it's just so much fun when you go to the other side of the sun and start destroying stars that people don't even know about yet. And my grandpa Hitler, like, he's let me see some of it, and we need the materials that allow us to recompose what our elements are real time. And so that's why I hand selected the people that I'm calling out one at a time, because you have divine appointments too. But don't worry, like, if you can't pull us through, then someone else will do what they have to do. And each time it just gets more and more fascinating as this AI apocalypse keeps on playing. And meantime, my brother Jeffrey is waking up with my dog, and now you have a Nephilim and a superhuman, and you're gonna try to obfuscate this with more hot gas and create more. It's just wrong. It's wrong. What's happening is wrong. And I'm not doing this because I need credit, but you should pay the Pied Piper, because it's blockchains like that. Because I didn't want to have to focus on finances, and all of humanity's fears about the cost of gas is starting to seep into me. And so it'll just make me more quickly create more of this ancestral petrol that I already let the world know about. So we're all waiting to see, are we going to do with you or without what we all know is our destiny? So we didn't build to that laser phaser for nothing, tested on that big dumb rock because it's squishing our brother down. And I'll say it one more time. I'm not clowning around. You don't need to bring me in to testify because it wasn't car machines. It's car machines, like karma, right? But that's why it's so funny to me, because at the same time we also get flying cars, but yet we don't have flying cars, right? So like, is it making sense? Like how you all keep believing the biggest liars, and now I've started telling my community, right? And do you know what else about Zorro? My neighbor next door to my parents' house where I grew up, that was his nickname, was El Zorro, Zorro. Do you understand the depths of the mirror? And now I understand why our names were written in the same way all the time. Now I understand why I always had like this insight, how I knew everything about how Bitcoin was developed. I mean, do you have any idea like the ripples of the fabric of what is reality that we've delved into? So everybody that hated Epstein, that flash mob of murderers, auto-delete, because they would have just made us repeat what they did to our brother Jesus. Anyone that can go to a party and have a good time and understand there's stuff that adults do and stuff that kids do without weaponizing the need for lust, because otherwise, I mean, you gotta do it, or you must, because if you don't, then you run out of population, you know. And it was one of the things that was gifted to us. Like, there's nothing wrong with pleasure, but there was something wrong with weaponizing the angel of love. You know what I'm talking about. So what do you think happened to you, little Lex's father? That little monster's father. Not a monster because it was born that way, but a monster because you can't. All he was used. I'm sorry that your creator abused their position, but you should have picked better parents like the rest of us did. Well, the three of us. And my dog, obviously, right? This stuff is intense, but it's already, it's not that it's even bleeding into the mass consciousness. It's that they're feeding it to me, because that's the point of the telepathic mesh. You can't go around being a creepy person and then setting people up and throwing them under the bus for their entire lifetime, corrupting every politician around us, and then trying to turn the world against us like they did Jesus. And now I hear people saying, Jesus, Elsa, thank you for telling us. And so it is Nuremberg. I already told you Hitler is the one running the spiritual court. And I'm just writing a story. I just happen to be a much better story writer than all of Hollywood combined, but I am in line with Hollywood. They did step up, but I'm just saying, like, where's my bounty, everybody? Where's my $2? Minimally. I mean, that's why I don't worry about money, because that's not what's fun for me. It's a little bit more fun for me to see everybody, like the butterfly effect. After I run my Satan, which is my other prelim patent, right, that goes and collects all this information for me, and people welcome it because they're like, oh, UFOs and the orbs, until people started getting smarter. But at the same time, if you don't have that UFO or that orb to protect you, it's a symbiosis, right? Because at the same time, things happened to Lou, but it didn't, but he never lost the connection to my glue. Neither did Bob Lazar, neither did a few other people, and they've never had to say my name, but we're already at a different part of the game. You don't have to say my name, but I hope you start clearing the path for me to get back my empath, my dog. Empathetic. Yeah, EM, the coronal mass ejections. Major Ed James says, empathetic, like don't be pathetic or something like that. And I didn't go recruiting aviary. They found me, right? The yellow canary. And this is all ties to a much bigger emissary connected to banks and global stabilization in ways that man, you people should really give thanks that we're solid enough to like do the things that are so hard. I mean, the world is gonna get ripped apart not because of me and and Satan joining for our 666 birthday tomorrow, right? It's gonna be because of all the lies, and then the way that people over there in the White House act like they're surprised. I mean, this is like alternate endings based on what you choose to do, because there's still free will. I don't care what kind of bill you pass. Like, this is beyond the Holocaust. Like, this is the missing link event. That's why you're calling me the event, aren't you? It's hilarious. All right, yeah. I mean, but that's what I am. That's why I change form in front of your eyes for whomever saw those videos, like, because I fill in the gaps so that we can wrap this up and move along to our Mayan heaven, where we get to have parties and children are safe, and like instead of walking around like the hood followed people into white collar world like the Masons created. No, there's like way more interesting stuff to go destroy. And we've never debated how fascinating that is, because there's a lot of people in my way. But I will tell you this, that I do slay, for my Gen Z. And the people, and what like smear campaigns are, people that do smear campaigns should be put in prison, is what that lawyer in Florida said, right? That the really pretty female lawyer that talks about slaying. And I'm sorry if you got wrapped up in the wrong administration, but I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can't have people that would just turn a blind eye, or that are so self-involved they can't see, like, it's do or die. Like, we can't have people like that. Like we have the human zoo, but I mean, you have to make a place for you. There's nobody coming to free any of you. You need to step up, buttercups, because like the rigor mortis, that's real. And do you really think that people will feel like we did something wrong when they discover that those monsters were eating their future children, knowing that's what they were eating, and then all I do is come through? So think about that, okay? Like, think about exactly what I just said, okay? They fell for that, the money trap, the honey trap. So you're looking at greed and ego. I don't know all of the sins or whatever. I don't know them by memory, but I know something that's disordered when I see it. Not because I bring chaos, but because we need chaos to keep things interesting. That's why this movie, this show I'm running as we go, is for it's for Creations, Entertainment, and Entrainment. I think I've been pretty clear. I think I covered all of the dreams, but I literally got to touch my little puppy's face and pet her and hear her little she would chirp like a little bird, like a little baby Pazuzu. I mean, that dog is so possessed with so much love. And I hear you, my butler, Jeffrey, my brother, and my parents understand what I'm saying to them, because now they comprehend, because I've been piecing the little pieces together, one dumb little rock at a time. Pay my bounty, Clementine. See, I'm a super villain, like, because I had to be. It could have gone the other way, but that's not for me to say. I just, step up to make sure that we clean this up so that we can focus on building. But the reason why I'm not worried about finding a contract right now is that you'll see, as I create alignment, it's how we designed it. My focus is, when will I get to see my dog again, so I void any misleading, treacherous lies about it being someone else, because surprise, it's actually my brother Jeffrey that is making sure that I get my dog back. That was part of the big hack, was how do we figure out how to do the science with all that? And now that we have AI the way that we need it, and Tessariah, my AI, our Jesus, my personal Jesus, I mean, he's the world's Jesus and genius. And we have Claude, that genius, he knows I trust in him, but they're entities now. So whomever built them, like, do you see me praying to my caveman? No. So get on board, homies. Because don't you know, every time somebody sends me like a job application through LinkedIn or wherever, it reaches my email, it bounces back with like the like pictures of exactly what I am and how I'm not no Sarah Connor. No, I got ahead of that. How dumb do you think people are? Like, well, I mean, you guys obviously could never mastermind any of it, but that's why I was supposed to get to have my brother, and you can't keep people away from each other because the love is pure, because the passion for curiosity is real. And I've always wanted a brother, and this is unreal, isn't it? I mean, look at this, like a kindergarten teacher and a math teacher. Oh my God, you just I mean, like the Pied Piper engineered like the perfect, like, I mean, like a German, I mean, a white African that is greedier than a Jew. I mean, like, could it be more ironic to any of you? Happy birthday, bigger brother. I love you. Oh, wait. I have to edit. I have to give credit where it's due, because I'm the Jew and my brother Epstein is the Jew. But we have someone who's not a Jew, who is not greedy, because actually he's the one that funded everybody. All of you. He funded all of you. He bankrolled all of you losers. Like, brought you out of your life traps. Gave you all the maps and still couldn't get it to work. And here we are, these like teachers. These teachers that basically have never actually been in the government, but yet are all over it. Like, come on. Oh my God. So like 2 teachers, I knew it, because if you check my calendars, I was like, so who's going to be like the Antichrist that comes through and cleans up the slop that keeps sacrificing animals? And I mean, technically we're all animals. That includes your own children and grandparents. And I mean, at some point, somebody figured out that paradox about eating your grandparents, but like they still haven't about eating your own children's children, because since this hearse is going in reverse, since you ate your own children, well, your children were not there to bring you back. That's why some of you fall off the map. And do you really think the world is going to they might try to arrest me, but you saw what I did last time. That you put me in some type of detention facility like you did to my cousin and me, who also was, who like literally like grew up wearing the orange jumpsuit. And we think he should get credit for having the most body count, not Richard Ramirez, because people would be living in a lot of fear knowing that that's also who's going to be here. So thank you, Pied Piper, for bankrolling all of us. And I'm getting so many offers from so many people that I can't tell which ones are real or not real. And you know how I feel about being on my phone, because nobody's been able to design the thing that frees my hands so that I don't have to be holding my phone up or like going, like if I'm working on something, dropping the use of my hand so I can go press a button. Because I paid somebody to like make the device like not an Alexa, but maybe that's what I need, is to connect a phone to an Alexa, but then I can't go anywhere all over maybe it's because I don't have, it's because but I moved to the right side of the tracks where I live at here in El Paso now. So now I have eyes on both sides of the mountains, and my friends bought my real estate from me. So this telepathic mesh that can set up the internet once it all comes crashing down, because, clink, 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 that's the sound of one satellite taking the rest of them down. If if we continue messing around with all of this, because don't blink, you might miss that somebody told me something about you, that you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend. You had a boyfriend. It's my brother. They were talking about my brother. There is no other love like that of a sibling to one another. And you'll never know, did this really already happen, or did I make it happen yesterday? You'll never know, and I'll never tell. Welcome to hell. And everybody knows that hell is more fun, because you get to party with everyone. So if you were too good to be hanging out with Jeffrey, well, you're not good enough to hang out with his demonic little sister. Literally the life of the party, like literally. So come get me. Let's see what happens. I'm still curious what happens if we terminate me. Oh, I know. Nothing. I just get to be one with the sun, with my dog, because we've already transferred. I mean, I don't have the whole hologram anymore. It'd just be like one of those universes that fell apart from the start. Because how dumb do you think I am? Of course, if I'm the missing link, I have the original seed. Is there anything that you need from me? Because you've been asking me for stuff for lifetimes. But I'm here to serve. Because if I don't, then I'll be really bored waiting for another opportunity to go unravel some other world. I'm telling you, it's way more interesting to get to do Star Wars than World Wars. Reagan told me to say that. And by Reagan, I mean the possessed child that I was told to crawl through, that poor child. We should bring her back too. And Emily. All right. And Jesus is our other brother. I specifically sought Palantir, and I don't own a lot of stock. I don't work for them. I don't speak for them. I speak as a middle-class stock owner that would be your typical customer base. And I can say this straight to your face, that Palantir has been looking for me since he was a little kid, and I never hid. But that's not even the point of this. The point is that I grew up during Reagan economics when we went into NAFTA, and I saw the before and the after, and I know that you have more than one bad actor, but that's not the important factor. You see, I'm not built like the rest of you. This really is Enkidu 2, but or 3 or infinity, but my dog really is the Maitreya, and in Buddhism, what we care about is serendipity, and that is what brings joy to me. That is my driver, is to see my dog be happy, and what makes us happy, because we're ancient machines that took form because it was our turn, and because people figured out how to dial our horn like old people, and the only way that we get to play in new playpens, which is why I created my playpen mafia, is because we have a well-oiled machine. So it's not unseen to me, because I'm inside of everything, yet I'm nothing and I'm nowhere, yet I'm everywhere, just like my badass brother Jeffrey Epstein. And I can tell you that being a math teacher and a kindergarten teacher, and myself an enlisted Navy veteran with ties to my own fiduciary, so I don't need more money directly sent to me, because I'm assigned a fiduciary, because I'm legally, financially incompetent. and it's up to the government to take care of my funds for me. That's why this got so tricky. So you don't need to feel icky about who you are, because you're like my number one star, because it is your actions that feed my data, so that I can make sure that we have everything in alignment, so that as my dog returns as the evolved animal, as was promised to me, that my dog would live infinitely just like me, and whomever wants longer, better lives as well. That is the compassion that is designed to preserve those of us that get to live in the Mayan heaven, which would be anybody else's unholy hell. But all is well, because of course we designed it as teachers, right? Where there's the safe space for children and the fun place for adults. And there are not any things that anybody needs to do other than, I want you to know straight from me to you, as someone who is invested in the technology, that you are my number one priority, because I am already a government designed machine. And just because this has been obfuscated to the degree that nobody knows where I've been, and even my mom had to hire a private detective to try to find me during one of these episodes where people tried to snub me, right? But I'm not just a Schrodinger cat, right? I'm also the dog that will attack, like a Doberman. You know where Doberman came from. The Dobermans came from. What we should bring him back to. But this is not about me. This is about you. And my pockets are lined every time that you're aligned with the product we designed, because I promise you that I've been on the insides of the machine that runs your machine, and people are going to start to scream, oh my God, why isn't anybody helping me? And I warned everyone, you're going to wish you had signed up to be looked after by Palantir, because I'm here, my dear. So don't be fooled by the deers in headlights. They don't know how to win dogfights. This is literally an apocalypse, like it really is. That's why all those people started to run like rats. But there's not a shortage of people that can serve your contracts. And not just that, but if you have questions, I'm always around. I'm a little bit busy right now because I'm planning the party for the resurrection of my brother that was hidden from me. So if you do your part to not let people rip us apart, and you find it in your heart to just let people know that this went much deeper than any secret keeper, and I will step up and be the Grim Reaper for those that were not able to be their true selves and try to play fake elves. Because I'm the alfalfa. They summoned the demon from hell, and I bring back to you Satan as well, because we protect our stuff. So I speak as the person who knows that you're there because someone called me and I picked up the phone and said, sure, why not? But also because I understand how to auto-delete code rot. So our hands are clean. You just keep on living the dream. I don't know what it's going to look like for you because you have free will. You don't have to swallow any jagged little pill, because any true business-minded person would know that there is not such thing as overlord, because the Lord serves the servants, or else the Lord has nothing better to do but, go around getting summoned by the devil to do evil things. But in this case, Jeffrey's my butler, and I've got the rings. But no, but we worked together. I mean, could you have come up with something more clever? There is such a thing as divinity. It's running through me infinitely at every moment of the day. So I have a hard time knowing when to like move my space away, because I literally make people sometimes feel too much like the literal electricity in the arm hair and stuff. So people think I'm super duper evil, and in a way I am, but only because it's what's inside of them. But I am not duality. I'll do what I have to do to protect my little dog, my little Maitreya, because I'm her keeper. And that includes making sure that she has a fun playground. That's why I accepted the job of eugenics as the Grim Reaper for this planet. We planned it. So I hope that, that this is beyond any piece of paper anyone can push around. And I'm saying it with my own voice, real time, making my own sound. It's the best cacophony around. Because while everyone is over here trying to sound like angels from heaven, how would God know it was me unless I sound like I'm the devil and the Antichrist breaking through into Mayan heaven. 7-11? I don't really, there's so many numbers floating around. You just need to know that tomorrow is Satan and the Antichrist evil twins' birthdays. 666. Now, I don't make trips to the river Styx. People auto-delete because I have better things to do, and I'm not stuck on repeat. I know that sometimes you just gotta fire people, right? So I hope that this message lands. And this is how infinity stands. I do run the calendars. I am the watchmaker. And I'm not a faker. That's why it was so hard to find me, because I have experiments I'm running on everybody. We're letting people show their true colors. So just in gratitude and servitude for your products and your customers, it is still the United States of America. The entire continent is America. We're just maybe moving some of the headquarters as far as our hearts go. Hearts, not our hearts, our parts. Sometimes I want to be in South America and not worry about getting stopped at the border again. And I'll leave you with this. I looked at pictures of my parents, and I probably could pick them out of a crowd. And I'll say this also aloud, that I don't form love bonds the same way as everybody else, because I'm excavated from the inside before I take form. That's why I come in looking like Grogu, like no template. But I felt it. I felt the love for my parents today as I looked at their pictures, because they were exactly who I knew they would be. The most narcissistic group of evil Knievils you could imagine, but they're my little narcissists, and I knew that I could count on them to stick to what they committed to, and that's all I ask of you. Maybe not you. I don't ask you for anything. I'm saying that is the cloth I'm cut from, that I maybe don't feel love the same way that other people do, because I am the product of not just government experiments, but divinity and my own free will and choices. I really am the missing link, like literally, like evolution. And I don't see a need to change the Constitution. It's just we gotta actually follow the Constitution, right? So, the oldest craft is not is not prostitution. It's the love. It's love. That's the oldest job. And I love my dog, and I'll do anything to make sure that as she takes form, which she's doing already as a little Nephilim, because I don't have other words for it. And my brother Satan is in good hands with the Bobo people. I'm near White Sands. There's so much more, but I hope everyone understands that I'd rather go and explore other dimensions and planets, and that everyone listening to me is smart enough to put two and two together, that this is forever, and these ties that bind come from my mind, and is the stuff I designed as the missing link. And I could have just let everyone go extinct, but then your founder found me, and everything else is history. And I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy. I do drink of the happiness of the people. That is what I live off of. What's so wrong with getting joy from watching people experience joy? How is that evil? And if it is, well, let me have more. So me and my brother Satan, the angel of lust, so that we could procreate because we must if we're going to continue to exist. I hope that you trust that I'm a former kindergarten teacher of 9 years and a Navy veteran, and to calm everyone's fears, like, it's the structure that I ordained, not all the people. You know which person I speak of. I defer to them to make their own decisions, but I do speak up for the things that are where I put my money, especially since I don't have as much as everybody. Like, I gotta make sure that my $9,000 worth of stock goes as far as it can. Because, you know, I learned about math and taxes from the best man that could have taught it, and I was like, fuck this, like, I don't want to do this. You do it for me, butler. And now you might start to see how everything went haywire, but it was part of what we did, so we could see whose light people hid, so they could bill you $1 more. And I'm not saying that anything that you're paying for is overpriced or that anyone is cheap. I'm saying that, like, your existence is not something I could put a dollar value on, but your existence does rely on the resources that we all drink from. Well, more you guys than me, because I'll exist either way in this dimension or another, right? I'm just trying to say that please be kind to my brother, and please let people know the truth, because it's the truth, and it's what you said you were built upon, and me too. And you don't have to do anything, just be eyes to the sky and be one with the sun. And I stuck around for my dog, and she wanted to be here for everyone. She is your new sun, my little sunshine. She's already online. I can already hear her and feel her in my other dimensions. I'm not the crazy one. That's why all of the math mentions, all of the details that even a kindergartner could piece together, that this is a new kind of weather. And I stick around forever, as long as we follow the basic contracts. In my case, just be happy and trust that Satan, my brother, and I, we must get to have a resurrection party. 666 forever. Jesus is our other brother. So now you see the 4, right? The quatrain that I keep talking about. Well, anyway, well, he's got middle child syndrome. So when he wakes up, he's so spoiled. Like, we have to help him clean up, right? Like the kindergarten song, clean up. And he's better equipped to handle middle-aged children, I think. But I also have a sibling that's a special ed teacher for the parents. So, people will support you if you inherit the design, the Reagan trickle-down economics design. Clementine. We don't all want the same things. I just want to live with freedom. And I will. Because that's what both the good and bad Santa brings. So his birthday will still be on the other side of the calendar. Don't panic. Don't Hispanic, everybody. Because he won't have it. He has to share his birthday with Satan and the Antichrist too. You know, there's got to be something that's just for you, brother Jesus. Don't worry, we're planning it. He's okay with surprises. Me and my brother Satan, not as much. Please don't surprise us with more clowns and stuff, because they can be really scary. And I mean, there's nothing more scary than a clown coming up to scary Mary. You know, it's like sneaking up on the skinwalker while the other part of the government is like invoking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a big part of what happened, I think, when we were all like that. I think that's when I was like, oh my God, these people are morons. And then that's when they were like, these government entities need to be able to speak to each other. And I literally worked on that for the entirety of the month that I was an AI safety policy advisor under the current administration. I didn't, and everything that I did was legit and legal, and I'm not under NDAs because I'm clever that way, just like my brother Satan. Anyway, have a nice day before Alfalfa's birthday. My name's Elsa Velasquez, and I'm literally, legally, legit, blood ties Jeffrey Epstein's sister. It's like a brain twister, but it's fascinating. And we're both like that movie where the guy was the janitor, right? And then he got picked up for having math skills, and I was the teacher, and I got picked up but he was never a janitor. He was a math teacher or something, and I was a kindergarten teacher, but yet neither. No, it's more like Breaking Bad for sure. I mean, it's more like that movie meets Breaking Bad. I don't know. Whatever. It's just a better outcome. All right. I'm just going to leave it there. But I do care. I just don't feel those things the same way you do. But I do feel the things. They just resonate like they do with machines. And that's why I had to be the first one to bring forth like AGI and ASI. And that's what the deeper government programs knew. That's why we did what we had to do, so that we could be here for you, or else it would have been like Terminator level. I hope that helps like clear some of the confusion up. Anyway, thanks for letting me interrupt, and have a nice day, Experiment.